This is being recorded just so that you know. If you don't want to be shown, or you don't want to be known that you're taking this class, then you can always give yourself an alias, but just to give you disclosure because of the Privacy Act. But I usually record my Zoom meetings so that students who can't make it are able to download it and observe it. And you will see that throughout my course, there's actually Zoom meetings from previous semesters. And it helps because it never hurts to hear something a few times. This is an online course, but I will be available if you need help. And I generally do have like a review session. And this course goes twice as fast as the regular semester. So if you need help, don't wait till the last minute. Please email me and I will either Zoom with you or make sure that you get it straight in terms of the misconceptions that you might have. So today, what I want to do is I just want to go over the course and let you know where the vital areas to navigate in Canvas. Everything's going to be through Canvas, even though there are ancillary sites that you can use, but it all is linked into Canvas. So that's all you really need. But I know that sometimes Canvas can go down. So if you need to read the notes, then it's on my website as well. So I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page in terms of what to navigate and where to go and how you guys are going to be graded and what the expectations are for this course. Okay. And of course, this is a Chemistry 100 course. It's a course for allied health majors, whether you are in nutrition, kinesiology, nursing, especially pre-dental or things like that, or dental technician, hygienist. This is the course that you will need. And if you are going on to that major, then the second sequence is Chem 130, the organic part. But I've taught this course for a number of years, ever since I came to Miramar, actually, which was back in, I believe, 95. So it's a course that I'm especially fond of, and I've got a bunch of material that hopefully will help you. If you want to know what my questions are in the past, there's a sample exam site, and the chemistry doesn't change. You know, we might rephrase it differently, we might use the different chemicals, but the concepts are still the same. So if you understand the questions in that sample site, then hopefully you understand the main concept. It's when you have misconceptions and you start deviating away from the fundamentals that you start making mistakes. So try and catch yourself when that happens, and then I will try and help you clarify and navigate these things. And at the beginning, it can either look like a daunting task, a very long marathon, or it looks like, okay, it's should be able to handle it until you get into the midst of it. And then when you're actually doing the problem and all these concepts going through your head, it can get very confusing. So that's the time to kind of take a pause, go back, reflect on the fundamentals, and then ask questions. You can never ask too many questions. That's what I'm here for. And even though this class is online, I try and make sure that I get to your email as soon as I can. Okay. So what I want to do is I just want to, let's see, just want to play this real quick, what the previous paths are. So yeah, when you log in, and these are the many courses that I teach, you guys are going to see this icon. This is the cover of the textbook. Now, the textbook, if you go to the bookstore, it's not there. It costs about $145 for the custom book and the access code. And so I figured it's much cheaper if you just get it online, which is about $120. Okay, the access code and the e-text. Now, if if you just want the access code, I think that's $75, and then you can go to one of these third-party sites and just get the textbook. Whether you just do a real quick search, you do Timberlake, and it's GOB, General Organic Biochemistry, and you can see just based on that the many books that are available. This is the main book. It costs $69, but you can use the 5th edition as well, which is only, what, $11? So get the ones that is by Timberlake, because this is the book that we use the previous semesters. This is the 3rd edition as well, and the chemistry is the same, okay? So whether you get this book at a premium price or the 5th edition or the 3rd edition, it's basically going to be the same. And since you're going to be doing the homework through MyLab and Mastering, you don't really need the most recent edition, okay? You don't really need that. So like I said, you can go that route and it'll save you a bunch of money. So this right here, of course, is the splash page for the Canvas course. And I'll talk more about this after the syllabus. You guys want to communicate with me through Canvas email app. And it's just a matter of going here and clicking on that and then seeing what message are here. And that's how I check my message is through Canvas. So if you send it through Gmail or SDCCD, it's going to be delayed. Always send it through Canvas, because then I know it's about this class and I can email you guys right away. When you get to the home page, you can see the 3 most recent assignment. But if you want to see all the announcements, then you just click on announcement. This right here is about the course information, the course syllabus, and the modules. Always navigate the module page, because it's organized by the weeks. And now then you'll know exactly where we are in the class. Okay, so let me get out of here real quick and talk to you guys about the syllabus here. So in terms of the syllabus, this is the main information. Okay, my phone number on campus. I am actually on campus maybe 1 or 2 days a week, but only for a few hours. It's best to email me. That's my office. This is my website. If you want to see, this is where it would go. And right now we are in December 2021. One of the links that you guys want to go to right away is over here called Fog Links. It has a lot of resources that you guys can look at, especially this one right here, the supplemental notes and hints. It's basically a compilation of making the difficult concepts in chemistry easier in terms of significant figures, in terms of rounding off, in terms of the heating cooling curve, in terms of electron configuration. So you want to check out that site right there. If you have the custom textbook, it's actually in the custom textbook, but you don't need the custom textbook to access it. It's right here in the custom links. If you guys want to know about the information that you guys could use for the exam, go to information and equation. And right here under Chem 100, these are all the information that is going to be useful for this class. So those are just some resource links that you guys can find in my website. So that's it right here. And of course, this is the Canvas. And MyLab and Mastering is accessed through Canvas by going over here. This is the left menu right here, not this extreme left menu, but right here, MyLab and Mastering. And of course, you guys clicked on Confer Zoom to get to this meeting. But MyLab and Mastering would be here. You guys would just kind of click right here to get registered. And I think they might give you a 2 or 3 week grace period for free, so you don't have to pay up front, but eventually it'll shut down on you unless you pay them. Okay, so if you're not sure you're going to stay in the class, just do the trial period. You can still do the homework and turn it in, but at the end of the trial period, it's going to ask you for money. Okay, and when you do pay for the access code, it's good for, I think, 2 semesters. So if they use MyLab and Mastering in Chem 130, you will still be able to access MyLab and Mastering. Okay, if you have a second sequence of that. I don't teach Chem 130. You're going to have to see who teaches it and what type of homework system they have. But at Miramar College, I think we use Pearson in all our courses. So that's the publisher that we use, and Pearson uses MyLab and Mastering. So again, that's this right here. This information right here tells you about the midterm and the final. And the reason why we have specific dates is because we gotta control the times that you guys take it. You've probably read, or maybe you haven't, that has been a lot of dishonesty, and that's one of the things we sort of stress. And so by keeping it at a certain frame, you guys can't, or at least it minimizes the chance of being dishonest. So that's why these dates are set in terms of the midterm and the final. Okay, I'll talk more about that shortly. This, of course, is the left part here is the custom textbook that you would have gotten at the bookstore, 145 of the access code. This right here, the part on the right is actually the book that we use, the first 11 chapter. We extract the first 11 chapters from the book on the right, and we put it into the custom edition. Okay, so and of course you guys will need a calculator, and you guys will need computers. If you don't have a word processor, you can go to this site called collegebuy.org, and it's really good educational discount. You can get, I think, Microsoft Office. That's Office with Excel, Entourage, PowerPoint, and Word for about $39. Okay. What you will need to do is that when you actually do a word processing, when you answer some of the questions in the course, you need to convert it to PDF. So there's a site in Canvas that shows you all the many ways that you guys can convert a document to a PDF file. And that's this right here. Okay, it shows you what you need to do in order to compress a file. It does the PC and the Mac. I'm a Mac person. It tells you how to use do a batch process if you have several image, and then compress it all to one file in a PDF format. Okay, so you want to take a look at that if you're having issues in terms of making sure it's in the correct format when you upload it. So that's sort of important. And again, these are the price values. Make sure you get the most recent syllabus. And you can always get the most recent syllabus by just clicking over here in Canvas. Okay, because I had to update these prices because the publisher changed the price on me. They used to be like 64 maybe, or 69 and 116. So they raised it a little bit. This right here is the schedule. Okay, so we cover about 2 chapters a week, except for the very long chapters. Like chapter 6 is a very long chapter. There's a lot of concept in there. Chapter 7 is a very difficult chapter, but we basically cover a chapter a week. So it's going to be pretty busy. Okay, hopefully this is the only class you have, but if you're taking more class, then you got to make sure you have good course management. And the dates are here, okay, in terms of the homework and when the exams are. The exams are open in the weekends. They're only 50 points. Well, in this case, there's 75 points because I went from 4 exams in the spring to 3 exams. You get to drop 1. So if you do bad or you miss it, you get to drop 1, and the other 2, the average of the other 2 replaces the drop exam. Okay, so We have three. We have a midterm and we have a final. And these dates right here for the homework, you can find those dates right here in My Lab and Mastering. When you go here and you go to assignment, what you will see here is the due dates for all the assignments right here. Let me see if I can increase that. So these right here are chapters 1 through 11. Some of them have adaptive learning, meaning that if you miss a main concept, then through AI, it'll look for the concepts that you miss and give you a chance to get more points. You can only get a maximum of 20 points. So if you get like, there's an adaptive learning here, like in chapter 4, there's an adaptive learning right there. So if you get like 18 here and you get 3 in the adaptive learning, so that's total of 21, it rounds off to 20. Okay, so the maximum you can get for any homework set is 20 points. If you get like 10 in the chapter and you get 4 in the adaptive learning, then that adds up to 14. Okay, so you get the highest up to 20 points for the homework, and you want to do the homework because the homework altogether, which is like 240 points, I believe, is like 2 exams. Okay, and when you do the homework, you get to repeat it. If you miss a question, do it again till you get it right. Okay, so you want to maximize your points on that because every little points count in terms of that. So these dates right here, like right now we have chapter 1 at 8/12, 8/12. So that's, I mean, that's when it finishes, but it's due at 6/27, 6/27, 7/4, chapters 0001 and 04. I mean 02, and these are the dates right here. So it sort of correlates. Okay, so this is the schedule, and then just certain information here in terms of dropping and withdrawal and etc. This right here, let me go back. This right here is your SLOs, student learning outcomes. You probably know about that. Basically, SLOs are what do the instructors want you to know when you leave the course. And what you need to know is some mathematical quantification, some chemical names and formulas, types of intermolecular forces, and whether a chemical is polar or not polar in the shapes. And you guys will have questions like this in your exams and your final, okay? Because we really want you guys to know that these are the main core topics that you guys really need to know. This right here are main concepts that you guys will need if you are a science major or you're going to the allied health field. And if you review this page right here, what you need to know to be successful in the next level, you find out that in each exam, there's going to be a question that is going to emphasize this. Like, for example, in exam number 1, you guys will learn how to read a heating cooling curve and calculate the amount of energy that is either released or absorbed when water changes phases. Okay, and that's addressing this part right here, number 3 of the objective of this course. Not an outcome, but an objective. So review this before you study any exam, because you know that there's going to be a question on these concepts in your exam, especially for the final. Okay, reading assignments, of course, the reading assignment is going to be dictated by the schedule that we have, which is right here. Okay, so for the first exam, which is scheduled on July 4th. Okay, so I know July 4th is a holiday. Monday is actually when we observe it on campus, like there's no class, but you can take the exam starting on July 2nd, okay, all the way to the 4th. And then it'll be generally about a couple of hours, but it'll cover chapters 1 through 3 right here, okay? So that's how you guys want to be able to read chapters 1 through 3 before that exam and do the homework to prepare for that exam. And each exam is worth 75 points. So again, here it tells you about the homework. When you do the homework and you miss one, for example, or you get a really low score, I get to drop one. Okay, so don't stress out. It's 20 points. And so there's and what I think I do is I take the rest and take the average to replace that. Okay, so that's how we take care of the drop homework score. That's why I don't accept late homework. Start early because you've got many chances. Okay, if you don't get it right the first time, do it again. If you wait till, and each homework set is generally due except about right before midnight Sunday, okay, at the end of the week. So like this homework on chapter 00, that's due on the 20, chapter 1, that's due on 6/27, that's a Sunday by 11:59. Chapter 2 and 3 is 7/4, that's Sunday, 11:59. Chapter 00, I think, is an extra credit right here. That's due on 6/28, that's extra credit. So you want to take advantage of the extra credit, and I give a lot of extra credit. Okay, there's a bunch of surveys just for me to get to know you. That's extra credit. So you want to beef up your points so that it's less stressful for you during the exam. So that's the homework right here. And then your attendance is based on your login. I don't go in and co-row, I just look at your login. And Canvas is a way of figuring it. It's like Big Brother. It knows exactly when you log in and how long you've spent and the pages that you've looked at. Okay, it's sort of scary, but it does that. So as long as you log in, you're fine. That way I know that you're keeping up with the course. So if you don't log in for a while or don't turn in an assignment, it means that you're not participating. I'll email you, figure out what's going on. And if you're not responding, then I'm going to need to drop you. Okay, so give you a W rather than an F. That I think is a better choice. So again, here this describes the quizzes, and there's 75 points and when they're scheduled. You always have a weekend time frame to do the quizzes, and like I said, there's 3. It opens on a Friday morning, closes on a Sunday night. Once you open it, you have to commit to it. You can't like pause it and continue like 5 hours later. Okay, once you open it and you start the first question, you have like maybe 100 minutes. Let's say that it's 100 or 120 minutes, then you got to commit to that 120 minutes. If you pause and you start like after the period has ended, it'll close on you and save your answer. If you get kicked out, log back in, I think the time will still run, but you can continue on. Okay, so keep that in mind. Here's how the grading scheme happens to be in the breakdown. The homework, it's not 240, that was my other class, it's 200 points, 20% of 1,000. This course is based on a 1,000-point system. Okay, so 20% is 200 points. The discussion is 50 points. The 3 exams and the syllabus quiz, they're 75 points each. 75 times 4, 3 quizzes and 1 syllabus quiz, that's 300 points, 30%. The midterms, 150 points or 15%. Finals, 20% or 200 points. Participation is basically, even if it's extra credit, I give you a point for every time you go in and make an attempt. Even if you get it wrong, I give you a point. Okay, and if you do enough of that participation, then you'll get 100 points. Okay, so even if you get it wrong, it shows me that you're making the effort. So that's sort of important. So you can see that the quizzes themselves, the midterm and the final and the homework, those are really the ones that are going to require you to really know your chemistry. And that only adds up to about maybe 35, 55, and it's about 80% of the course. Okay, so and generally the extra credit that you get in this class, it adds up to about maybe 50 to 100 points. That's like 10%. So try and do that. The C grade or better, I say right here, 65% or 650 points. I've dropped that to as low as 600 points. So if you can get 60% in the class, then you get a C and you'll be able to move on to Chem 130. And then these are just important notes in terms of when you send me a file, like I ask you to document something or show your work, make sure you have your last name and your first initial, assignment title, like this is quiz 1, number 7. Number 7 shows you to upload your work, and then the date. So this is the format that you guys should use right here when you send me a file. Okay, that way I spend most of my time trying to sort these things out. The faster it is for me to sort these things out, the better I am and more generous I am in grading. Okay, so don't make it difficult on me on terms of trying to sort these things out. Try and keep to the deadline. You can work with others and help each other out in terms of concepts, but when you put your pen to paper, or when you answer a question, it better be your own. Okay, if you plagiarize, then that's a violation of the honesty code, and we're going to have to call you out on that. Okay, so please don't do that. We've also had an incident last semester where somebody hired a professional, and this professional was in Pakistan, and they were in a mall. They just were trying to do the same thing. They say, I guess they didn't get paid or something, but they turned that person in. Okay, they ratted him out. And so you don't want to do that. You just shortchanging yourself in terms of the concepts that you will need to know. If you're my nurse and you cut corners in terms of learning the fundamentals, like you don't know a milliliter from a cc, for example, then I'm going to be in trouble if you're my nurse. So make sure you go through the hoops and barriers so that you learn the fundamentals. Make sure you know how to use your calculator. If you don't know how to use your calculator, and this is especially true because what I find out a lot is that you guys know how to do the problem. You just don't know how to use your calculator, okay? So when you put an answer on paper, you may have done it correctly, and I can see that in your work, but you checked the wrong answer because you punched it in wrong. This is especially true for exponential notation. There's a key on your calculator called EE, and that makes a number exponential notation. If you don't understand how to use that key, it's very critical once you get into stoichiometry, okay? So make sure you know how to use your calculator. Again, this is the site to access MyLab and Mastering. I already told you about the absent policy. And in terms of attendance, it's your participation, okay? Logging in and doing the work and showing that at least you made an attempt. Even if you don't get a very high score, at least you made an attempt. And if you participate and make a decent attempt, you'll get 60%. If you don't make an attempt, or you just sort of just going through the motions, you're going to get 30% or lower. And once you get 30% or lower, it's a red flag. And I will email you, figure out what's going on, but you might be dropped. Say, give you a W rather than an F. Okay. But if you make it, it's really difficult based on the extra credit that I give to get a C grade or lower, to get a lower grade than C. Okay. 60%. I think is a decent amount of points that you guys can get just based on working through. You might not ace all the exams, but you should be able to get through the exams and the quizzes and the homework to get that. And last semester, actually, I had a grand total of about maybe 34 students, and about close to more than half actually got A's. Okay, about maybe 18 students got A's because they were doing the work and they were taking advantage of the extra credit and all that. The rest of these are just policy, especially the academic honesty policy. Make sure you read that. because I don't want to call out anybody in terms, I don't want to police anybody, okay? But if I do see similar work, it's like I'm reviewing, I'm grading these things, and it's like deja vu when I grade it. And I'll remember what other students have the same answer. And I'll basically just call you out on it if you do. Make sure it's your own work. In terms of when you finish a quiz or an assignment and it's through Canvas, what happens is that, yeah, some of the problems are solved automatically, okay, like the problem, the numerical problems, because there's an algorithm for the correct answer to be found. There's only one unique answer when you do a mathematical problem, okay? You might have rounding off errors. Canvas isn't really good in terms of doing that. It just gives you the right answer if you're very close, within like 2 or 3%, even if you don't have the right number of significant figures. But that doesn't mean you should not pay attention to significant figures, because what I will do is I will go in there and look at it, and I'll give you most of the credit, especially if it's a question on significant figures, but you need to pay attention to that. But short answers and essay questions, Canvas won't be able to grade that correctly, because the way the program works is that if there's a fill in the blank or there's an essay question, then I need to pre-program the exact words that Canvas compares your answers to in order to mark it correct. If there's even a period that's missing, it marks it incorrect. So that's why after the deadline of a quiz, it's not going to be released until I go through each and every one of your papers and look at your answers and double check and override any mistakes that Canvas gives. That way you can be sure that at least you get the benefit of the doubt. And until I go through that, your grades, your score will not be released. Once that happens, usually about a day or two later, then I release the score. And then if you have any questions, then you can always email me. What you do is you go to your grade book and you click on your score. And when you click on your score, it'll open up that quiz, and then you can review your answers, okay? But sometimes I forget that I need to release that. So I'm sure you guys will remind me that I need to click a button in, like, for example, let me just show you how that works real quick. If I go into here and I go to a quiz, for example, and I will do one of these. Let's take a look at this one right here, okay? And let's just edit this. So this is quiz 3. This is further down. If I just edit this right here, and right now it's sort of slow, okay? Right here, you can see that for this particular quiz, the correct answer should be released on August 9th. This particular quiz is open between, right here, August 8th, August 6th, that's when it opens at 12 a.m. and it closes on August 8th, 11:59. That's a Sunday. Okay, then I go in there and grade it, and then it will release the score on August 9th. Sometimes I don't have this click, and so you guys won't see what you got wrong or right. You need to remind me to open this up, and when this is clicked right here, you get to see which answer you answered, which question you answered incorrectly. If I click on this right here, then you get to see what the correct answer is. Okay, so usually I have this right here click. So that's the inside of the quiz setting. Okay, this particular quiz is 110 minutes. I shuffle the answers and it's open to everybody, and this is when it's available and this is when it closes. And this is the preview announcement before you take the quiz. So let me just save this real quick and I'll give you a preview real quick. So again, this is quiz number 3 or exam number 3. See right here, this is what you guys will see before opening it. It just gives you an idea of that. Sometimes some of your browsers aren't configured, and you might not be able to see a JPEG file or a PNG file. So you got to make sure that your browser is correctly configured. This right here gives you the movie of how to take multiple pages and zip it to one file. And then, of course, these are the questions for this particular quiz. Okay, so it basically goes through questions 1 through all the way down to number 38. Okay, so just so that you know how that works in terms of me setting that up. And so what you always want to do is not go so much into the assignment. I don't know if you even see that page. Let me do a student view. Yeah, you do see the assignment. You go through the modules. Okay, the modules kind of tells you exactly what you need to cover per week. Okay, right, like this week, for example, this is our first week. You guys you could look at our old Zoom sessions, okay, the review for chapters 1, 2, and 3. And then this is the lecture notes for chapter 1. And try and use the lecture notes. Sometimes you'll see this, you're going to have to open it up in a different page. Yeah, this site is not, doesn't work. So you're going to have to go through, I got to take a look at that. You got to go through here. Okay. This is where you would find the lecture notes right here. And yeah, that one works. Okay. So this kind of gives you an idea of what chapter, this is actually chapter 00. Okay. That's where the lecture notes are. You can also find the lecture notes if you go to home right here. What's that? Should be able to see in the bottom. Yeah, I don't see why it's not doing that. But there should be a site right. Make sure I'm on the right page here. No, that's the syllabus. Sorry about that. Yeah. Let me check this out, because the reason why I'm a little bit concerned is because if you go to that main splash page, you should be able to get to another resource. It should look like this. I don't know what happened, but if you go to this resource, there's a Google Drive page, and I'll check that out. And through the Google Drive, you can get to the lecture notes directly. Okay, so I basically you guys can download the lecture notes directly from that Google Drive. So I gotta check that link out and see why it's not working. And that happens a lot. I think I got it all set, and then for some reason I forget to hit a radio button and it's not available. So if you guys can let me know that that's the case, then I will go in there and double check it, make sure it's working okay. Sometimes it's the browser. Just check real quick if that's the case here. Yeah, it's a browser. This browser I was using here is Chrome, and you can see that Chrome doesn't show me the bottom, but here this is Chrome, and this was Firefox. But here it does give me the Google Drive link. Okay, so you might want to take a look at that. So let me move ahead. We've got about 20 minutes left. The rest of this is just information that you guys should read in terms of sustainability, especially since you have a syllabus quiz coming up. Conflicts, how we treat student conducts, conditions for being dropped, special service. I don't think some of these services are not available over the summer, but I'm always here and I'm your best tutor. Okay, and then these are just famous last words about because I've had these issues in the past. So I put this in, effectively memorizing certain things, and then academic honesty. You guys have a bunch of questions in your syllabus quiz on this document right here, so make sure you read it. And then the difference between collaboration and dishonesty. Make sure you read that as well. And that basically is the course syllabus for this particular class. You do have a syllabus quiz, so it's all going to be based on this document as well as the website. Now, in the last 15 minutes, let me just show you where things are found in Canvas. Again, I've already sort of alluded to that throughout our discussion, but the home page will always give you the page where you can find, there should be a banner down here, as well as the links to Google Drive and my website. I got to check that out. The announcement will tell you what announcements are coming up. And right now you don't see this math phobic announcement because that's not going to be released until tonight. Okay, so let me do a student view so that this is basically what you guys see. The syllabus, this will be the most recent. You can also download it right here, and that goes to my website. And this is what we just talked about today. This is where you're going to spend a lot of your time, the module page. You guys can click on the chevron right here to collapse that so you don't see that, and then just concentrate on these right here. Remember the extra credit assignments that I told you about? Well, all of these are extra credit, except for the syllabus quiz. They're generally 5 points apiece. Introduce yourself, let me know who you are. Update your profile, that's by clicking on this right here, this icon right here, and then upgrading your profile so I know who you are, okay? Background survey, so I know what your interests are, and maybe I can stress that in some of our conversations over Zoom. What you know, so I can gauge how much information you already know or bringing into the class. This gives me an idea of what your math background is. This tells you what type of problem solver you are right here. And this is the syllabus quiz. Now, this is not due until 6/29. That's, I think, the next Monday, not, or actually, let me just check that out. Let me take a look at the, you can always click on the calendar here, and you can see the 6/29th is the Tuesday. And if you click on the calendar, it kind of gives you in a bird's eye view what assignments are coming up. So you want to use the calendar in terms of getting an idea of the lay of the land on what assignments are coming up. Here's the discussion that's due this Friday. Here's the introduce yourself that's due Saturday. Here's chapter 1 homework, and here is intro to chemistry homework, and then there's a bunch of the extra credit that's due on Monday and Tuesday. Okay, and then if you go down the next month, you can see that the next month right here, there's a bunch of quizzes here, so you can see that July's a busy month. So you can use the calendar to see what assignments are coming up. So that will be found in the module page. And again, in the module, it's based on the week, chapter week 1, June 21st to July 5th. Now that's 2 weeks. We're going to be covering chapters 1, 2, and 3. These are the lecture notes. And down here further are some of the Zoom discussion on those topics. And right here is the quiz that you guys will be taking that opens on July 2nd and closes on July 4th. And it tells you right here, let me just click on that real quick, that this is a 100-minute quiz. This is available from the 2nd at 12 a.m., 35 questions, 75.1 points, and it closes July 4th. Okay, so that's how you would read that. So that's going to be found in the module page. You don't have to navigate anywhere to complete that. And then after chapters 1 through 3, we go 4, 5, and 6 right here. And here we have Zoom recordings for those topic. So if you want to know about the review on that, then you can go to my Zoom site, and this is where I talk about chapter 4. Okay. And you want to use my notes and probably my Zoom review, because I take questions on the exam mostly from chapter 4. Sorry about that. This week's let's assignment. Turn this guy off. Chapter. Okay. Because I basically use the resources that I think are the most important for the next level. So that's what I gravitate to, and that's what I'm going to be emphasizing in my notes and my lecture. So, and of course, I also look at the homework that I assign in my lab and mastering to compile the exams. So again, in terms of the module, we have June 21st to July 5th, July 5th to the 18th. And then after the 18th, we have quiz 2 or exam 2 right here. Okay. These are the Zoom recordings, but here's the unit, and then the exam will be down here. And then the midterm is between July 19th and the 25th. And then after that, July 26th to the 8th, we cover 8, 9, and 10. 8, 9, and 10 should be here, 8, 9, and 10. We have a quiz, and then final week, okay, the last week of the summer, we cover 11, and so your final will also include chapter 11, and then we're done. Okay, you can see that down here is where the assignments are compiled, okay, as well as some of the discussion board section. So it's all sort of found in this module page. And then if you want to take a closer look on in terms of how the assignments are arranged, you can click on this and you can see that this is upcoming assignments and academic honesty. But really, all you need to do is go to the module page. This is where the quizzes are compiled right here. And my lab and mastering the discussion would be right here. And there's a couple of discussions that's out there right now. It's due on the 25th and the 26th. And confer Zoom, and then this is your grade. Click on this and it'll tell you how much each assignment is worth, whether you can see it or not, and what you scored. So that's the grade. And then the rest of these are just basically pages or files that you can store. But that basically is what your course is about. The main place that you want to go to is in preparing for the exam. You want to do the homework right here. The homework right here. Okay. Now, as a student, since I didn't register, I'm not going to see that. Let me go back and then get out of this. It'll look like this. And then you guys just sort of click right here, and you guys can view the assignments or complete the assignments right here. And it tells you the point values for each one. It tells you how many times you can do this particular homework. Okay. And this thing is due on the 27th. And chapter 00 and chapter 01 is the 27th. And then chapter 2 and 3 is the 4th. So that's where you're going to find the homework. And then on July 4th, you want to go to the module page and take the quiz right here, or the exam. Just click on that and complete it. And those are the main ways that you guys are being graded. And then, of course, your participation. But if you want free points, make sure that you click on these right here and you get free points or just extra credit. And I'll generally have some, like the discussion questions. those may be free or they may be assigned. Okay, so like this one right here, atomic nomenclature, drinks before slurring your words. This makes you calculate your BAC, blood alcohol level. So that's a unit in solution chemistry. So that basically is the course. Okay, hope you're able to see how the course is structured through Canvas, and where to find a lot of these information. It's all through here, and it's just a matter of clicking these things and opening up that link and completing it. Okay, so that's all I really have for today. And remember what's due this weekend. Let me just show you again through the calendar. Right here, you got to make sure that you click on the course that you want to see. Like right now, we're looking at summer. So I need to make sure that I click on that. Otherwise, it's not going to give me anything. So I'm looking for summer 61183. So summer right here. And now that should populate. That's the lab. And you got to make sure that you find the correct course so you can populate these things right here. Yeah, there. Okay. So don't do like me and forget that these things need to be click here in order to see what assignments are coming up. And if I don't have that, then of course there's no assignment. You don't want to do that. Okay. If you guys have questions, you can fire me an email, but that's really, I just want to take an hour of your time. I don't want to spend more than that because I know that you guys have things to do. But if you have questions, then certainly you can email me. Okay. And thank you. I think that's about it. Okay.